good, YouTube? This is Rage Real. So in today's video, I want to show you guys the most versatile defense inside of Madden 22. So if you enjoy this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So first and foremost, I am in the multiple defensive playbook. Again, I'm in the multiple defensive playbook. Now, with this video, you guys are going to be able to see exactly why I say this is the most versatile defense. Now, this formation can actually be found in a number of different playbooks, so make sure you check the description and see if it's inside one of your playbooks that you like. I just know personally it's inside the multiple D and it's inside of the 4-6 defensive playbook, but I believe it is in some others. So like I said, make sure you check the description. So first and foremost, why I love this defense. So I kind of did a video on this in the past, but I wanted to bring it up because I really have a lot of success out of this video. So the reason that this defense is good, because you have 4 down linemen and you also have nothing but DBs that's on the field. So you're able to actually have, it's a little unique because it allows you to blitz from whatever side that you want to blitz from. And you're also guaranteed pressure. Now, also the good thing is that since you have 4 down linemen, you technically can get weak box since this is a dime defense. But the good thing is that you can actually gap shoot, so it minimizes that risk of you actually being able to get toted on. And you're going to see that here in a second. And also, I do have gameplay for you guys, so I'm going to make this extremely quick. Now, as far as personnel goes, it's pretty standard. You want to make sure you have your fat. So I love to actually have my outside linebackers at my end position. So I have Khalil Mack, and right here I have Robert Quinn. Now on the inside, I love my great pass rushers. So this way, if I want to drop those defensive end in coverage, or if I want to have pretty fast guys on quarterback contains, you can do that. And whoever your best players you want to put right here for your user, so you can tell you can put a linebacker, you can put a safety. It's just the Bears don't really have good, safeties that are fast. So Roquan Smith is perfect. Now, of course, on the slots, you just want to have whoever you want on the slots. It's completely up to you, and obviously on the back end, it's completely up to you. So this video, I'm kind of be talking about cover 4 quarters and blitzing from there, but you guys can turn zone drops on. You can do a lot of different things. I personally love blitzing out of match coverage, so they have cover 4 quarters and they have cover 6. Those are the 2 match coverages that I really like. And also they do have a unique cover 3 where the cover 3 comes from the linebacker spot already. So it allows you to play around with different adjustments that you see fit. So I'm only gonna be talking about cover 4 quarters just to show examples. But I'm also going to show you guys gameplay as well. So let's just go to random gun because it really doesn't matter. So basically what I love to do is I love to press, and then what I love to do from here, it also just depends. So let's just go to a formation as a running back. That's going to be a lot easier to talk about. So let's just go to something, actually they won't let us from here, so let's just kind of take this and just kind of throw the ball wherever. But let's actually find a formation where they have a running back, because that's going to be the best way you can actually utilize it. So what I love to do is if my linebacker's not in the middle, I love to actually press. Or one thing I like to do too is show blitz. So when you show blitz, notice our safeties. Notice how our safeties actually are going to walk down and get more inside the box. So let's actually just baseline and baseline again to get it back normal. Now watch what happens when I just show blitz. Now notice how everybody presses and those safeties are going to move way down. So if you guys could take a look at it, our safeties actually are in the run fit. You can tell for some reason he's not, but that's fine. But what's important to know is that this safety right here is in the run fit, meaning that when they run the ball, he's going to come down full force. Now, a couple cool things you can do too. You can also man align if you want. You can press triangle, press R1, so you can see what the defense looks like if you man align. Now, right here, it actually doesn't change much as far as like the man alignment, because while we already have 3 people over here stock. So if we go back to regular line and then we show blitz, we can get it back to looking like this. So you can tell, you can actually just you have even amount of spacing. Now getting into the meat of everything that I want to tell you before we show gameplay is that there's a lot of things you can do out of this. So me personally, how I love the blitz, I'll take that slot guy out there and I'll blitz him. So I love the blitz away from the running back because a lot of times that running back's going to go on a route. And basically, you also have the option to pinch your line if you want. You can actually slide your line, but I think because we adjusted everything, we won't be able to. So let's baseline and baseline. So when you show blitz, actually, you won't be able to slide your line like you want. But notice now we baseline. Notice how we can slide our line whichever way. So if you show blitz, please keep in mind that you will not be able to have the option to slide your line. So my suggestion is just pressing and then just manually bring your safeties down some. Just be very careful, because if they're audible to another formation, of course your safeties are going to be stuck right there. So just be careful on that. But one thing I love to do is actually slide my line. So if they want to run the ball, you can actually stand about right here and blow up the run. Or you can actually stand right here, and what you're going to be able to do too, you can actually crash your line out. So notice how nobody's actually over this defensive tackle right here. So we can actually stand our user right here, and what we can do is actually grab the attention of him, go ahead and back off, and then that time we actually didn't get through. But if you wanted to, you can actually move that guy in a lot closer. But you're going to see me do this in game, don't worry. Now, a couple things I just want to say real quick is talk about the run. So let's just go over let's find just something like inside zone, for example. So the good thing I love to do, like I said, is press, and I like to slide my line away from the running back, and I love to actually just leave it just like this. Now, if you want to, you can crash towards the running back side. It's all up to you. But I love to stand about right here if it's a trip formation. And I'll show you where I stand for a double. So let's say they try to ID me, and the good thing is that they just won't be able to get there. So right there, that was just terrible run stick, but I go on replay and kind of show you exactly what's happening. But keep in mind, you can always slide your line whichever way, which is why I really love this defense. And also, I will show you what happens if they audible down. But notice how my user just completely whiffs right here. I should have just came straight down. I had no business taking that little small little, little half step. But notice how I ID this, but because of where we're standing, nobody's going to be able to block us. So notice how 17 is the ones trying to get to us. But because of alignment, he's not going to be able to. That's why you're able to shoot that gap. So let's try to actually go back and just show that one more time. So let's go to inside zone. And like I said, some formations it's better to slide, this way and crash away. Some formations it's better just to slide towards the running back, crash towards them. Like I said, it literally just all depends on, what formation is, which is why I really love this defense, honestly, because it gives you a lot of versatility. So real quick, I just want to show you again, and after that, we'll talk about what happens if they audible down, then we're getting right to gameplay. So let's say they ID me, right? So a lot of times you can still come down right here, and of course, doing practice mode is gonna be hard to kind of shoot that gap with two controllers, but you get the picture what I'm saying, so you can actually take that guy. And also, you can also use it as safety too, which I'll show you here in a second. But you can tell all I had to do is lean my control a little bit on the right, and a lot of times you're gonna be able to blow that up. So last couple things I want to talk about real quick is user in the safety. So you actually can use it as safety you want to. Of course, as you guys know, so I'm not going to give out just my setups just yet because you're going to see them in gameplay. But if you want to use it as safety, this defense is very good for using a safety. What I would particularly tell you to do is move that guy inside. So now we kind of have like a big nickel style of defense, if you will. So then you can come here, and then obviously I didn't slide my line correctly, but you'll play around with that, and you'll do it that way. So again, last thing I want to show you, and then we'll actually get right into gameplay, so I'm just going to throw that just because. But I want to show you what happens if your opponent audibles down, and that you'll still be somewhat okay with the defense that you're in. So let's say they see you in that, and they actually want to audible down to like, what's something else people are running. So let's just say single back double south, right? So as long as you're in this style of defense where your safeties are involved in a run fit, what you can do is actually you can show blitz at this point to bring your safeties down, or you could just press so you can still slide your line. So what I would do is I would probably press, I would pinch my line just like this, I'll bring the safety down, and notice that this safety is in a run fit. So what I would do is grab this safety that's not in the run fit, and I would actually use him. So notice how now we blitz him, so now we have almost everybody in the run fit except for 3 people, right? So what we're going to do is, they run the ball, we're going to come here, and then hopefully, you can hope that doesn't happen. But again, you get the point of that. You're just basically going to fill that gap inside of the run. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. So let's just show you again, since they came out in a good formation. So let's say they come out in single back wide trips or something. So I would actually, what I would do is I would press, excuse me, and then I would actually pinch my line, and I would bring this safety down, and I would just walk this guy down. Now, sometimes I may put this guy in the third, and then if I do that, then I will click the right stick in on the run, so that way he can actually help on the run a lot faster. So also one thing you can do too is put him in a spy, and what that's just going to do is let him play the run a little faster too. So let's just say, boom, I click the right stick in, and now basically I'm just here playing cleanup, and that's exactly how I would actually use this defense. So quickly, I'm just going to replay, and then we're getting right to gameplay. I know this is long. I'm sorry. I hope you guys do appreciate this, but it's important to know what to do in case your opponent wants to audible down, because when they see this formation, they're going to try to weak box you. So you have to be prepared for the weak box. So notice how we click the right stick in, and our safety's now coming down on the run. Even though he was in a third, you see he does kind of come back down a little fast, and then we're able to wrap around with our user. And since it's still match coverage, he's going to play on him, so that's just kind of the way it works. You could tell we have guys in the gaps that they need to be in, and you have pretty solid defense. So without further ado, man, let's dive right into this gameplay. All right, so right here you can tell we actually did get matched up against the Panthers, which again is a really rare thing because a lot of people, the Panthers are actually a really, really fire team on here. But as you guys know, a lot of people want to play with the Ravens, the Packers, the Chiefs, the Bucks, the most people want to play with the overpowered team. So it's actually really fun whenever I get to have a matchup against a non-meta team, which the Panthers should be meta just because they actually have a lot of speed. They just don't have a lot of like good abilities outside of CMC. That's literally all they have, CMC and actually David Moore. DJ Moore, excuse me. So right here, so I wanted to show you guys just the full defensive gameplay, so you know how I actually do my offensive games, where I show you guys my offensive drives. So this is just me showing you guys my defensive drives for those of you guys that actually want to see this in action. So anytime my opponent came out in like a passing shotgun set, I'm actually going to come out in that dime defense. So as you guys notice, I haven't came out in a dime defense versus like a heavy gun package like this. So the reason I don't think that's good is because a lot of times people want to tote the ball, and you can kind of bag the run with it a little bit, but ideally you don't want to come out in a dime set versus something that's a heavy shotgun formation, like an A slot offset, wing slot offset, you know, those type of things, you know, gun wings. You don't want to come out with nothing like that. So you want to look for your trips tight ends, your gun doubles, you know, your Trey flexes, for example. So you can tell right here I'm actually going to go to the dime. I actually went to the wrong one. I was like, wait, this is nickel normal, not dime normal. So actually I was kind of looking through nickel normal too, just to see what kind of coverages they had out of there. But you see right there, dime normal, we're going to talk about cover 4 quarters. Now, I don't blitz every single play. I actually want to see what my opponent does first. So you can tell right here, I wanted to show this because look at the run. So like I said, you can actually have pretty decent run defense out of this, you know, and it all depends on where you want to use her at, honestly. So you can use her a linebacker if you want, or you can use her as safety if you want. See, me personally, it depends on what formation they run against who I use her. So that's just my personality, not personality, Jesus. That's just my, you know, that's how I want to do it, you know. So you don't have to do it the way I do it. But again, he's gonna come out in I4 normal. So this is actually one of my favorite coverages that I already showed you guys on my channel. So you can tell, I think he was going for 1 play touchdown, but we actually did a great job of taking that away, and then he is gonna go ahead and eat that sack right there. So I think he should have thrown the ball out of bounds, but he didn't really lose yards, so I guess it doesn't matter. But what he did do is probably most likely got Sam Darnold tired, because you guys know you just touch a quarterback and they're just automatically going to be in the red. Makes zero sense to me. But gun halfback strong right here. So like I said, the good thing about this defense is that they have different match coverages, because me personally, I actually love cover 6 versus bunch, which if you guys want to see my bunch defense, which I already put out before, if you guys want me to kind of go back over it, I will. But this is essentially it right here. Well, I didn't get to show it, but you're going to see why I said that. So, again, he's going to try to throw in the flats. And the great thing about this defense is that once you figure out your opponent's tendencies, you can blitz from either side that you want to, which is one of the rarest things you can do. And the reason it's possible is because you have 2 outside corners that are outside. So it's a very symmetrical defense. So that's why your formations like 3-3-5 wide are really good, because if you cut it down the middle 3-3-5 wide, you know, it's the same number of people on the left versus the right. And actually in dime normal, it's the same exact thing. So if you was to cut it straight down the middle, you would notice that the same amount of people are on both sides of the line. So that's why this formation is extremely deadly in my opinion. Plus you can slide the line, you know, which really helps about everything. So anyway, you can tell right here, I actually did not decide to blitz right here, but like I said, the good thing about this defense is that you can play max pro coverage. You can actually blitz, you know, 7-8 people, because you can essentially blitz 7 at any time you want to, because you can always blitz those outside slot corners if you want and still play great coverage on the outside. So it's extremely versatile. But like I said, I never recommend you running it versus a formation like this. That's why I got out of it. Right there, I couldn't get back on my user, but it's completely fine. And one thing I noticed is that most people kind of play this game alike. So they're not going to come out and just try to dot your face off. Now see, that's me, because I just love to throw the ball. But surprisingly, a lot of people just love to run the ball, play around different formations, you know, cycle through formations. That's just how a lot of people play. Either they're going to do that, or they're going to sit and call 1 or 2 plays the whole game. I never really run into that many people who actually just come out with one offense and actually just see what you're running and actually try to dissect your defense. I hardly ever see that. Now, I know on MUT, you know, the only way you're going to see that too is if you're on Weekend League, because I'm pretty sure playing MUT head-to-head, you're not going to see that too much. You're going to see basically what you see when you play regs online. It's just people cycling through formations, you know, just running, you know, whatever play, whatever setup they've seen, or whatever setup they think works really nice. But right, you can tell we are sending a blitz, right? So notice how we're going to basically screen, and it's going to be like that every single time. So every single time they send their running back out, you can actually do that. Or if you notice they're constantly blocking 6, you can actually be creative and actually blitz 7, and you can actually hold the center, so you're actually technically sending 8. So that way, if they're blocking the running back, you can for sure guarantee somebody to get through. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. So if they're blocking the running back, they're blocking 6 people. So if you send the slot cornerback and you hold that person, so you already send a 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so you need to send that slot. I'm sorry. So yeah, if you send both of those slots, then you actually can run a defense like that, where you just hold the center, and then, you know, of course, you're going to guarantee somebody to get free from blocking the running back. And the thing that's hard, because then your opponent's going to start wanting to block 7, and then at that point you can just sit in a base rush 4, and that's where your team is going to get pretty overrated at. But right there you can tell we do go ahead and stop him from converting, and we are going to go ahead and give the ball right back to him eventually. So we are now back on defense. So yeah, so I actually do like using the Bears offense. It's actually pretty fun. I know this is a defensive video, but I was just thinking about this game. But the Bears offense is actually really hard. I mean, Justin Fields is fun to use, but man, that offensive line is absolutely terrible. But yeah, so right there we are gonna get a sack, and you guys can tell I'm not really doing anything special on defense, you know. So basically, all I like to do is kind of just see what my opponent does. And then when I kind of get a feel for what he wants to do, then I'll start sending the heat as I see fit, you know. So right here, this is Trey. Notice how I'm able to slide my line, and notice right here that he's going to go ahead and dump it in the flats, but that's okay because we're going to have somebody right there. So my recommendation is to always make sure you blitz opposite side of the running back as much as you can, you know, until your opponent starts throwing those flats on the opposite side. Then you can start mixing in blitz into your running back side. So don't worry, in a little while here you will see me start utilizing blitz. It's just some formations I don't like blitzing, and this is actually one of them that I don't like blitzing. I actually love sitting in a base rush 4 or base rush 3, depending on if I want to drop somebody in coverage, put a quarterback spy. It all really just depends. But right there, I have no clue how my vertical hook does not play that, or my purple doesn't help out on that. That's kind of what I have that combo over there for. But regardless, I guess you could say good dot by my opponent, so he is going to be able to move the chains with that setup. So notice right here, Trey wide open. So this is a formation where I wouldn't mind blitzing at all because it doesn't really have that many great route concepts. So what you're gonna be able to notice, I actually got stuck on my defensive line, but we were essentially gonna have that pressure guaranteed out there. So like I said, that's why I don't blitz on the running back side, which I didn't that time, but that's what I'm saying why I don't, because then your opponent's more than likely always gonna have a tabor out by the running back. So if you don't blitz them, then you know you're good in that aspect. And also, one thing I do want to say is that I actually have zone drops off. So the reason why I have it off is because me personally, I actually love blitzing with match coverage. As long as you kind of understand what's going on with match coverage, you actually can do a really great job of bagging a lot of formations just by understanding route concepts and understanding how your zones are going to react to certain route concepts that develop. So that's how I like to do it. So if you guys want to see a video of kind of match coverage and, you know, what all you should know about match coverage, let me know and I can definitely bring that to you guys. I'm already thinking about doing it, to be honest with you guys, because it's something I did last year. So I kind of want to do an update video on it just to show you, you know, how it works for this year, because it's tiny, it's mostly the same, but it's a little bit different, you know. So some concepts your person to get glitched out a little easier. Some concepts they actually made it play a little smarter, particularly like in your trips formations. I noticed that match coverage plays a lot better. So right there, I would say he got cheated. I don't know, because that's actually that route that actually sits down and keeps going. So had he waited half a second, but the problem was he didn't have that half a second to wait. But yeah, so 3rd and 10, man. Just kind of wanted to just show you guys, like, one thing I do want to say is that I hardly ever play man coverage, and so if you mix in man coverage with this defense, honestly, it's actually really, really good because you have nothing but DBs on the field. It's just, I don't like sitting in man coverage. I like to just kind of play zones and just see, you know, that's how I find the most success, is whenever I'm in zones, because when I'm in man coverage, I feel like such a bot, to be honest with you guys. But I mean, it's because it works on this game, you know. Like I said, I'm on current gen, of course, so current gen man coverage is still pretty broken. But right here, like I said, this is one of the times that I do go man coverage, and I didn't really expect him to make that read. Very, very questionable read. Now, I understand I did peel off at the last second, but had I stayed on there, he definitely would throw a pick 6. I don't understand that read whatsoever, but it worked for him, you know. I'm not taking nothing away from it. It did work for him. But right here, I was setting up my dollar normal, because a lot of times the people are passing on, they're bugging me. Then I actually will switch to a dollar, but had to remember that I'm making a video about dime normal. So like I said, you're probably gonna see me go back. Yeah, so I am gonna go back to dime normal here, and just like I said, I like to base everything out of cover 4 quarters. You can use whatever zone coverage you want. You can turn zone drops on if you want. All up to you on that. It's just a really fun, solid defensive formation, in my opinion, that doesn't get enough love, honestly. It really doesn't. So right here, notice how the match coverage plays, right? So notice how that player is going to be stuck on CMC, right? So what you would do in that scenario is, hey, let me put my best player there, you know? So those are different things that why I like match coverage, because then I can actually go and mess around with personnel. So notice how I move that guy outside. Might not look like much, but I moved him outside just so he can actually play the flat route better. And then notice how we are playing the run a lot better, you know. So and also, like I said, gap shoots are definitely possible with this defense. It's just, it all depends on who you want to use or where you want to slide your line, and that's what makes gap shoot possible, because you have the ability to slide your line wherever you want to. And you already have 4, you really already have 5 in the box. So whatever user you bring in a box, you can shoot the gap with, which is why I said it's really nice. So notice right here, we're gonna touch that lineman and just look at the pressure. Like I said, it's just, you can send pressure from either side, you know, so unless your opponent's smart enough to pick on the fact that, hey, he's only sending pressure from opposite the running back, because you'll be surprised. There's a lot of people who will not be able to notice that you're doing that, you know, especially if you're mixing in your blitz. And right there, of course, I don't know what happened with it. Maybe he just got a bad angle or something, I don't know, but hey, missed the kick. But what you'll be surprised in, so look at that bad pass I got right there. I remember that play. So anyway, what you'll be surprised with is that a lot of times people, they don't really like to, you know, they don't really diagnose those type of things that you think they would. So right here, you can tell I'm kind of blitzing right there. I think that should have been a pick, to be real with you guys. But one thing I did want to say is just that a lot of times people won't really, you know, catch on to the fact of you doing a lot of things. So that's why I said I really love to just blitz opposite the running back, because about time the opponent realizes, hey, that's what he's doing, a lot of times it's already too late. And you can have the ability to blitz towards the running back, away from it, so you can tell, right, I'm not sliding my line, I'm not doing anything, I'm just going to touch that lineman and then go. And then right there, I feel like that probably should have been a pick, but it's cool. But you guys can tell we're pretty much going to guarantee if somebody gets free every time. Well, not every time, it's Madden 22, but 90% of the time you're going to get somebody that comes in free, man. So yeah. And if I talk a lot, let me know, because I'd really just be talking. But if you guys want to know something true, in real life, I like to talk a lot too, to be real. I don't know, maybe I have ADHD or something, I don't know. I just love to actually talk and just communicate with myself. But yeah, if you guys talk to yourself a lot too, let me know, because I'm just curious at this point. But yeah, anyways, right here you can tell first it goes, I don't know why he throws that. Madden, I know it looks open, but in Madden you can't throw that, because they're gonna let you jump about 80 feet in the air. But yeah, you can tell right here his connection started tripping, because it definitely wasn't mine. I know it's saying your connection, but I don't know why it says that, because there was absolutely nothing wrong with my connection at all. So I just kind of wanted to put this in there, but you guys can tell it's probably gonna lag us out. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you guys have a blessed day. Let's actually wait for it to lag out. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.